Hey guys, welcome back to Suyana Zoo, episode 7, and this time we're jumping in, and I'm letting you guys in on the Jaguars having some new neighbors here. So yes, I've brought in, look at this one swimming. I have brought in some Indian elephants, and I absolutely adore watching these guys walk around and play. Did you see that awesome tire flip that one did during the cinematics? I can't believe he didn't go by and bust it. This is the big male right here, and these are the ladies out here. They haven't had any babies yet. I've got them all on contraceptive except one of the 5-star females. But yeah, this is kind of like their little sanctuary here. And what I thought was cool as far as them sharing, being neighbors with the Jaguars, I thought it was cool to not really have a bunch of signs and really like almost imply that they're back there, like with the little with the wooden elephant carvings, and see how it's kind of like really mysterious coming back through here, and then all of a sudden you get back here and you're like, oh my gosh, look at this. So that is kind of what the whole stick of this thing was. And also I tried to work on the wall a little bit now that we've had our orangutan testing, and I thought that moving it back a little bit seems to help. This guy's leg and her are still kind of in it, but doing it right here on the edge seems to keep them back a little better than over at the orangutans. I don't know if anybody's over here looking at them. If you're new, I'll show you what I mean. Yeah, see, like over here, if you're looking at them, see how I put the wall too close to the edge? I could probably move it out a little bit. That may be something we'll get into, but for right now, I'm not messing with it. But yeah, see, like over there where the elephants are, this little wall is kind of pushed back. Oh yeah, and while we're in here, a lot of you guys have been asking, as far as like that wall goes, what do I do? Or like some of you even said, where's that metal piece? Well, all I do is, it's just the fence. So if I lower this, see, it's just the metal fence piece. And if you go into your construction tab and you can even leave it on all and go here to your search and just type in a fence. There it is. The Planet Zoo fence number 2. And I just thought it looked cool, kind of like a little more realistic to have not only do we have the rock barrier, but we have like this metal pole kind of, not doing a very good job, trying to keep people back. So yeah, that is the meaning behind that. But yeah, I just thought that it was time for another big ticket type of animal, and this is the style of waterfall that I did for them. I thought this tree that I grabbed from one of the frontier blueprints looked really, really cool with the vine kind of separating it, and it's kind of like fought for life out on that rock. In the middle of all of this waterfall and this turmoil going on around it. So I thought that was pretty cool. You've got a couple different binoculars points right here. Right at the end of this platform, we've got it covered, so you've got a little bit of shade if you want to watch them from over here on this side. And then, of course, we've got the hill and some shade over here on this side as well, kind of like what the main viewing area is. And that's why I kind of made this a little wider, because you'd have to figure this would be a really, really hot spot as far as traffic flow goes coming into the elephant sanctuary area. So that's kind of why this piece of path is so wide. And then we've got this little jet off spot with some more binoculars that you can look out and get really, really up close and personal, get some views of the waterfall, or if they're out there in the water. And I just can't wait till some little babies come along. That is going to be hopefully by episode 8 we'll get in there and be able to show you guys that. But other than that, Michael is on point right now with his Main Street buildings and like the South American corner buildings. Like, look at this, check this out. this is like the little shop that he put on there. And this is one of the newer pieces. It's like a corner South American spot. So it's got the little uprising, the little curve here, the little curb right there, kind of just above the path. I thought looked really, really good. And all of this kind of like little shopping area sits just adjacent to our newest gharial enclosure that you saw in episode 7. So I just thought that, which I still need to get back over. I kind of went over and started working on the elephants and hadn't finished this yet, but that's what I'm kind of doing. I'm bouncing back and forth between getting some shops and some bathrooms placed. We do have some construction walls right here because we don't know, kind of what we're going to do out that way yet. But yeah, just like I was telling Claire. I was telling a few people that I really want to. I like kind of mixing up different different buildings with enclosures, so you don't just totally have the animals in there and like that kind of just totally takes it over. And I just, like I said, I was telling Miss Ivy Dawn that I used to be totally against workshop items. I just thought because before it was almost, I don't want to say it was taboo to use workshop items, but it was almost like if you didn't build it, there was like a little bit of a problem to it in the YouTube world. Like there was a little bit almost of a stigma of using other people's blueprints in your zoo. And that might have been to the fact of people using the blueprints and not giving the proper shout outs. Like I've never done that. Anything in any of my builds that comes from the workshop, I don't pass it off as I have built it. But like I said, what Michel has put on the workshop has absolutely helped me tremendously. No way would I have thought just to design in the way that these South American buildings were designed. And I love this shot right here. Look at the tile. I like breaking up the tile as well. But when you're in the morning, like early morning, watch how this shines. If I can get it kind of just where the sun's peeking through a little. There we go. Doesn't that tile, like the tile almost like it just looks awesome, that shimmer that it has, and kind of making your way up here to the chimp, kind of like the chimp ridge is what we've been calling it. And yeah, so you can look down on the little family. I'm not sure what they call a chimp family or a group of chimps. You guys have to let me know in the comments section. I have to Google that. But yeah, this is all just coming out so cool. And also, like I was telling some people too, what is so fun about it is just I have a feeling with this zoo exactly like I did with Pine Creek, whereas I'm not bored with it. It's just like the ideas, I've not hit a stump with it. The ideas are flowing, and that is always a good thing. And that one doofus, it's weird. Like, what's this been? Maybe 4 or 5 months ago, when I started Pine Creek, and I left the experiment build zoo behind. And that one dude said, "Wow, you're not finishing another project. I'm shocked." And when that dude said that, I thought about that for like a week. And not only was, he was a dick, but he was right. He was just a dick by the way he went about it. But he was right. And unknowing to him, kind of just, like I said, being a dick, it made me really take these builds more seriously and try to have fun with them, and not necessarily just always leave you guys hanging when something new's kind of dangled in front of me, or a new idea, and then I jump ship and start working on a new zoo or a new theme park or a new whatever. But that really kind of jarred me, and it clicked something in my brain that really made me want to finish Pine Creek, and it's having the same effect with this zoo. So I guess the moral of the story is no matter how like bad a situation seems in the beginning, particularly with this guy, how frustrated and like mad and upset I was, look what came out of it. An awesome Pine Creek Zoo series. You guys are still sending me messages about how awesome you thought that zoo was and how you're playing around in it right now. And I'm getting DMs on Instagram and Twitter, like every day, you guys asking me questions about this zoo and sending me screenshots about different stuff you've tried in it. So that is definitely one of those weird kind of channel defining moments that I told myself I am going to see this through and start just putting out more quality content and just focusing on these builds with just, you know, a little more heart, a little more higher level of thinking, a little more longevity, more storytelling, more backstory. And that, I think, is what has just been really, really fun about my last 4 months of Pine Creek's journey, and now Suyana Zoo's journey. Let me show you all what it looks. Some of the stuff looks like in the rain. I'll take you over and look. The chimps, when it starts raining, they book it up to Woody's building. They'll stay down here for a minute when it starts raining, but let's see if they go flying up that hill. Yep. They do not like to be out in the rain, as do I, so we can't really blame them, but they come up here every time it rains. They'll run up here and they'll just start taking a nap. The orangutans, they don't mind the rain as much, maybe just because Borneo, maybe during their rainy season, it just they're just kind of used to it. But they definitely don't mind the rain as much as the chimps do. We know the crocs do not mind the rain. I was telling some people on Instagram when I posted a picture just a day or two ago, maybe yesterday, I'm like, this is definitely a little pool you do not want to go swimming in or take a dip in. Let's check on what else we got. I don't think the hippos would mind. We know the gharials don't mind. I've really went pretty heavily water focused, haven't I? We've got to get some different animals in here. Some animals that need some covers. But you know, still got to do some work on the bridge over here. Got to decide what we're going to expand out past those construction walls. Probably like if you go down this road over here, isn't this absolutely gorgeous? And look at the potted plants. Going out this way, we can eventually, if you bend back over here, look how close you are to kind of like the elephant sanctuary. So definitely getting close to connecting all of this. But you know, like I said, just keep your guys' ideas coming. Let me know what you think about the zoo and the progress of the zoo and kind of all what's been going on with it. I think it's fleshing out so well now. You always worry, like at the beginning of, let's make it a little cloudy after a storm. You always worry a little bit in the beginning of those builds, just kind of just not knowing the unknown of how they're kind of going to turn out, what the audience reception's going to be, if your ideas are going to stop, if they're going to keep flowing. There's just so much. Like, remember we were in the middle of this, when we started this, we were in the middle of the treehouse village here, kind of just almost grasping at straws of trying to, come up with some different ideas of what we can do and waiting for the DLC to come out. And it's all just really interestingly, it's just we've just kind of rolled with it. The ideas have luckily kept coming. And so that's kind of what our whole goal is with this zoo. Just keep the ideas rolling. I wasn't necessarily planning on doing the elephants yet, and I went back and forth like, should we do African elephants in this or Indian elephants? And I was just kind of more so zooming around up here and kind of looking at the layout of things and how things have progressed north. And then, of course, we've got the Jaguars that kind of pulled things a little over to the left. And I thought, well, what would be a good capping point for over here as far as these enclosures go would be a larger elephant enclosure, and of course I wanted to integrate them, a waterfall and all that. So I just think all of that just worked out super, super cool. And I wanted to give them enough space. Like, I didn't want to totally dominate their enclosure with foliage, kind of like we have done in the other ones. Basically for sight lines of the people. Really wanted to make sure you get a good look at the elephants, and yeah, so that's kind of what we're doing. I have introduced a male jaguar to our enclosure over here. I don't think they have not mated yet. There's him, Tanuak. So that is something else we're waiting on. We are waiting on some babies in the zoo now. So we will keep you updated on that. Just don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Sdanwolf, and on both of them, and you can keep up with some of the updates, kind of like as we go back and forth between these builds. And like I always say, I can update you sometimes a little quicker on Instagram and Twitter than I can on kind of just pushing out these videos. So anyways, guys, yeah, I'm Sdanwolf. As always, thank you for stopping by and hanging out with me. And don't forget to smash that like button. And yep, I will catch you guys in the next video. Thank you. See ya.